Have you ever noticed how hard it is to simply stay with anxiety without trying to fix it, fight it, or run from it? What if the path to feeling less anxious isn't about making it go away, but about learning to stay present with it? Welcome to Quieting Anxiety, where we explore practical, step-by-step strategies to help you manage anxiety and build a more peaceful life. I'm Dr. Monica Frank, and in this episode, we'll take a closer look at how mindfulness can help you respond differently to anxiety, not by trying to get rid of it, but by learning to tolerate and work with it. We've talked about tolerating anxiety in earlier episodes, but in this one, we'll go deeper, focusing on how advanced mindfulness skills can help you stay present with discomfort, observe urges without reacting, and build greater emotional resilience over time. Before we get started, let's take a moment to become present. If you like, close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let your hands rest loosely in your lap or by your sides. Take a slow, gentle breath in and exhale fully. And again, breathe in and let it go. As you breathe, bring your attention to your body. Notice where you're holding tension. Your shoulders, jaw, hands, or chest. See if you can let those areas soften just a bit. Now bring your awareness to the present moment, noticing the sounds around you, the sensation of your breath, and the fact that you've made space for this time. If you feel any discomfort right now, physical or emotional, just notice it without judgment. You don't have to change it. Just be with it as we focus on learning to tolerate discomfort. Today's episode may challenge how you've been thinking about anxiety. In fact, this is one of the hardest lessons for my clients to accept, because it flips the goal of anxiety treatment on its head. You see, the goal isn't actually to get rid of anxiety. It's to learn how to tolerate it. At this point, many people say, wait a minute, are you nuts? I don't want to tolerate anxiety. I want it gone. I don't like how it feels, and I don't want to feel it. Believe me, I understand. No one wants to be anxious. But let's look at how your inner dialogue affects anxiety. If you often think, I have to get rid of this anxiety, I can't stand it, you're placing a demand on yourself. That demand creates tension. Try saying that statement out loud. I have to get rid of this anxiety. I can't stand it. What happens in your body? You might clench your fists, your breathing might quicken, your shoulders might tense. That's anxiety responding to your resistance. Now imagine saying instead, it's okay to feel anxious. I can allow this feeling to be here. Just notice the difference. When you stop demanding that anxiety go away, you remove a major source of tension. That doesn't mean you give up. It means you allow the anxiety to be there without adding fuel to the fire. But here's the paradox. The more you fight anxiety, the more power you give it. When you learn to say instead, bring it on, I can handle whatever this anxiety throws at me, something shifts. Anxiety starts to lose its grip. To me, this is the single most important sign of change. When I've worked with clients who truly begin to adopt this mindset, who stop trying to get rid of anxiety and start saying, I can handle it, I'm not afraid of it anymore, that's when I know they've turned a major corner. They've conquered the fear of anxiety itself. Yes, they may still need to work through certain patterns, like avoidance or compulsive reassurance, through behavioral exposures or other tools. But that core shift in attitude, that's the foundation. That's the point where healing becomes sustainable. Now, of course, you can't just say those words and expect everything to change overnight. You have to truly believe them. And right now, that might feel impossible. That's okay. You don't have to believe it yet. As you work through these podcasts, maybe you've already noticed a subtle shift occurring. Maybe you're catching your anxious thoughts a little sooner, or feeling just a bit more willing to sit with discomfort instead of avoiding it. Those moments may seem small, but they're signs of real change. You don't have to get it perfect. You just need to keep taking the steps, just like you've been doing all along, and eventually you'll get there. It reminds me of when I first started training in martial arts. I'd hear about what was expected at a black belt test, the intensity, the fighting, and I'd think, there's no way I'll ever be able to do that. But my teacher would tell me, focus on what you need to do today. That will prepare you for what's coming. That's what I want for you, to begin learning how to tolerate anxiety, even if the idea feels impossible right now. It's important to stop thinking of anxiety as the enemy. It's not an aberration, it's not a flaw. As we talked about in the educational sections of these podcasts, anxiety is built into us for a reason. It's part of our internal warning system, just like pain. Pain tells us, hey, something's wrong. Anxiety does the same. It says, pay attention, something needs to be addressed. But just like pain, anxiety can become amplified by our resistance to it. If we tried to eliminate anxiety completely, we'd lose something important. Anxiety is part of our built-in warning system. It helps us recognize danger, stay alert, and respond to challenges. Without it, we might overlook situations that need our attention or miss cues that something isn't right. The goal, then, isn't to erase anxiety, it's to learn how to respond to it differently. Instead of reacting with fear or trying to push it away, you can begin to listen to what anxiety is trying to tell you. Is it pointing to a real problem that needs solving? Is it reminding you to take care of yourself? Or is it simply a habitual reaction to uncertainty or discomfort? By practicing mindfulness and learning to tolerate anxiety, you also learn to interpret its message more accurately, to separate helpful signals from unhelpful noise. That shift can reduce fear, increase confidence, and help you use anxiety as a guide rather than something to avoid. One way to do that is by practicing mindfulness during uncomfortable experiences. Now, many people can be mindful when something is pleasant, watching a sunset, enjoying a moment of calm. But real growth happens when you bring that same mindful awareness into discomfort. Let me give you an example. Say you have an itch. Your natural instinct is to scratch it. But what if instead you pause and just observe it? What does it actually feel like? Where is it located? Does the intensity change? Can you make it stronger? Weaker? Instead of reacting to, I can't stand this, I've got to get rid of it, you shift into observation. You create distance between you and the sensation. And often, people find that by simply observing the discomfort without judgment, it becomes more tolerable. Not because the sensation changed, but because the way they related to it changed. That's the power of mindfulness. And that's the skill you can apply to emotional discomfort, including anxiety. That's where a technique called surfing the urge can be helpful. Originally used in addiction treatment, it's a powerful skill for tolerating any strong urge, especially the urge to escape anxiety. Think of what it's like to surf an ocean wave. At first, you're paddling and positioning yourself, aware of the power beneath you. Then the wave begins to rise, and there's that moment of tension, of anticipation, of instability. You can't stop the wave. You can't control its size or speed. But if you stay present, balanced, focused, and responsive, you can ride it. You don't fight the wave or try to outrun it. You move with it. At the height of the wave, it may feel intense, unstable, even overwhelming. But then, as you stay with it, it begins to carry you forward, and gradually it softens, it fades, and you come back to calm water. Urges work the same way. They rise, they peak, and if you don't panic, if you don't try to escape them too quickly, they pass. Your job is not to stop the wave, but to ride it with awareness. The idea is simple. Urges, like waves, rise and fall. Instead of trying to suppress or give in to the urge, whether it's the urge to leave a situation, check something for reassurance, or distract yourself, you observe it with mindful awareness. You notice where you feel it in your body, describe its intensity, and imagine riding the wave. You don't act on it, you just stay with it. And like a wave, it peaks and then it passes. This practice helps you realize that you don't have to obey every impulse anxiety throws at you. You can stay present, feel the discomfort, and watch it subside. That's real power. So today I invite you to shift your focus from getting rid of anxiety to learning to live with it, to begin noticing how you respond to discomfort, and to practice approaching it with curiosity, not resistance. And let me be clear, accepting anxiety doesn't mean you're helpless or that you have to live in suffering. If you have an anxiety disorder, it may not disappear completely. But just like people with chronic pain can learn to live more comfortably, you can learn to live with anxiety in a way that makes it less intrusive and more manageable. So today, reflect upon the shifts in tolerance that you have already experienced. Even if just for a moment, are you able to be with the anxiety, to just observe it? Also, use the companion audio, Surfing the Urge, a mindful approach to emotional tolerance, to help with practicing how to stay present with uncomfortable urges, such as the urge to escape, avoid, or control anxiety, so you can build greater tolerance, reduce reactivity, and develop confidence in your ability to manage emotional discomfort. In addition, Excel at Life offers mindfulness audios specifically designed to help you practice awareness during unpleasant or uncomfortable situations. You might start with physical discomfort, such as feeling hot, cold, tired, or tense, and then gradually move into emotionally uncomfortable states like frustration, anxiety, or sadness. The more you practice, the more you develop tolerance. And the more tolerance you have, the less reactive you become to discomfort, which, paradoxically, reduces the intensity of anxiety over time. Let's take a few moments now to reinforce what we've explored today. Bring your attention to your breath. Inhale slowly and exhale fully. Now call to mind a moment from your life when anxiety shows up. Maybe a situation you've often tried to avoid, or a feeling that makes you want to escape. Notice how that urge feels in your body. And now imagine riding that feeling like a wave. You don't fight it. You don't give in to it. You simply stay present. Say to yourself, I can feel this without reacting. I can stay with discomfort and let it pass. This is a wave. I know how to ride it. Let those words settle into your awareness as you focus on your breath. Inhale slowly. Exhale gently. Now slowly return your attention to this moment, your breath, your body, and the space around you. The takeaway today is not about ignoring the anxiety. It's about listening to what it's telling you and choosing how to respond rather than react. When you recognize anxiety as a signal, not as a danger itself, you can use it the way it's meant to be used, to become aware, to focus, and to engage in problem solving. Acceptance and tolerance aren't signs of weakness, they're signs of strength. The more you do that, the more peace you'll find, even in the presence of anxiety. Until next time, keep practicing, keep breathing, and keep moving forward.